Iman Gadzhi brings in $10 million per year using his YouTube sales funnel, and I spent the past 30 days learning exactly how he does it. So in today's video, we're going to break down how he gets people into his funnel, how he structures his content to convert them into buyers, and how you can do the same. So let's just get right into it. Now, the first step of any YouTube sales funnel is getting attention into the funnel, and Iman Gadzhi does this in 3 different ways. He uses Instagram, he uses Twitter, and he uses YouTube, and we're going to break each of them down. So with Instagram, he really has like his main profile, and he also has his real profile, and his main account is pretty simple. He kind of just like uses it like a normal person would. He posts videos or posts like pictures of himself, some like lifestyle videos, stuff like that. Whereas like his real account, he actually has a team of in-house editors who are taking clips from YouTube, they're editing them, and then they're repurposing them onto Instagram. And he posts like a few of these a day, and he'll get like, 100,000, 500,000, 700,000, like average around like 300,000 per video. He has about 18 million people per month coming in from the Instagram account. And then he doesn't really funnel any of these people anywhere. He's just kind of like building up attention. And that's what brings us to his Twitter content, which is very similar to Instagram. He doesn't post anything of like actionable or tangible value, like do this to get XYZ result. It's more just like lifestyle stuff, like business advice, nothing too crazy, but he posts like 1 to 3 of these per day, and he'll get anywhere from 80,000 to 300,000 views per post. So he's getting around 80,000 to 900,000 views per day and 27 million views per month just from his Twitter. So with that Twitter and Instagram, we have about 45 million views per month, but he doesn't funnel them anywhere. So the real question is, what does he actually do with them? Now, the whole goal of his Instagram and Twitter is just creating like a brand awareness, basically. Like, he's not trying to go more famous. He's not trying to necessarily go viral. He's trying to get as many people to see him and kind of like start wondering like who he is, or like know who he is, because the more they see him, the more he comes up on their For You page, the more these more like unaware audiences are going to think like, who is this guy? Give him a quick Google search, and they find like his YouTube, they find his digital courses, stuff like that. But then the question becomes, did he get 5 million subscribers on YouTube from doing that? And the answer is no. So his YouTube strategy is pretty simple. He's going to have 3 different things of content. He has like his top of funnel, which is going to be more lifestyle content. He has advice style content, which is more middle style content. And then he has his informational content, which is more bottom of funnel content. And each of these are going to play a major key in the sales funnel as a whole. Now, his lifestyle content is really simple. It's really just to like grab attention. Like, he posts stuff like meeting Hezbollah, letting him drive his Porsche, stuff like buying a jet, buying a supercar, like looking at this supercar, stuff like that, because his ideal audience is going to be people that are attracted to this type of stuff, because he wants to attract people who are young entrepreneurs, people who are trying to make like their first 10K per month, making their first 5K per month, and they're going to be attracted to this flashy lifestyle. So using this stuff is a great way to reach people who aren't directly in his ICP, to help him leverage his YouTube algorithm and actually reach people who are like attracted to the flashy lifestyle and attracted to the business stuff as well. And that just means it ranks him higher on the algorithm and gives him a higher chance of reaching his intended audience, even if they aren't solution aware. Now, solution aware is pretty simple. There's going to be 3 levels of awareness, just to break this down, because we are going to cover it a few times in this document. There's going to be unaware, which means they have no idea they even have a problem. There's going to be problem aware, which means they have a problem, but they don't know there's a solution to it. And you have solution aware, which means they know there's a solution to their problem, but haven't found like how to solve it yet. And then product aware just means they're ready to buy. Now, once he does have this attention, now he doesn't necessarily direct it all into his sales funnel, but what he does is he puts 2 possible things in his description. So he has his social platforms where he's just redirecting them to like build more brand awareness and build more traffic, or he's driving them directly to his next step of his funnel, which is going to be a YouTube VSL. This is going to be his low ticket YouTube VSL. And this is where he actually starts to make some money. So the first funnel is going to be the low ticket VSL. So this low ticket VSL is mainly for when he tracks a wider group of audience, which is why he's putting it into these lifestyle videos, because these people do have lower intent. They're not really solution aware, and they might not even be in his ICP. So what he does is he doesn't direct them directly to a landing page. He just leaves a YouTube video in the description of the lifestyle content, like we have. Yeah, it's right here. He just leaves like a description with the link of the video, and it brings them to this video, which has that link in the description. But the thing is, this YouTube video is actually a YouTube VSL. Now, the VSL is a video sales letter, and the goal of it is to get people to buy from you. So it's structured to showcase an opportunity, discuss the problems the audience has when trying to get there, and then paint his product as a solution. And this is where he actually starts to use call to actions. And in his YouTube VSLs, he just tells the audience to check the link in the description after painting his digital launchpad as the solution. However, he doesn't hide his VSL on a landing page like most funnels do. He actually just posts it as another YouTube video, and there's actually a big reason why. Now, opposed to a normal VSL funnel, a YouTube VSL removes friction from the process because no one has to leave the platform to watch it. This means more people watch his VSL because they don't have to click an external link to do it. They think they're watching another video that Iman made about, riding trucks with Hezbollah or whatever, but it's really him selling them on the opportunity he's going to present them. So in the YouTube VSL, he leaves the product link in the description after he's provided value and after he's brainwashed them into buying. But the question then becomes, how does he actually minimize friction and get the maximum amount of people to buy from him? Because he has millions and millions of people watching this VSL. Now, a YouTube style VSL is basically a salesman who works 24/7. It can be the difference between booking calls on autopilot or having to send manual outreach for the rest of the time. So to print, you need a great VSL. But the question is, how does Iman structure his VSLs in a way that feels like another video? Well, the first thing he does is he acts like it's another video. So for his It's Boring But Will Make Even a Beginners Millionaires by 2024 video, which is his low ticket VSL, the title and thumbnail blend in with all of his other style videos, but the way he structures the value has actually changed. The thumbnail perfectly fits into his other video styles and what he really is talking about, stuff like 5 steps to unfuck your life, stuff like that. So it blends in really well. And then during the actual video, the way he structures it is the raw truths of becoming a millionaire, which he does 4 things here. He connects with the audience, he asserts authority with past experience, and he digs into the problems that are holding them back, and then he paints his product as the solution to their problems. So what he first does is he talks about where his audience is in their entrepreneurial journey. He targets their pain points specifically, they're not making the money they want to be, they're working extremely hard, but they're not in a position to generate luck. And basically, this part of the VSL is to get the audience to say, yes, this is exactly how I feel, because that's the group he wants to be talking to. If their answer to these situation questions are no, then he doesn't want these people to even watch the video, so it qualifies them immediately. And once he disqualifies some people and gets, only the higher intent audience to watch, he starts to assert his authority, so people actually have a reason to listen to what he's going to say. So asserting his authority is as simple as saying stuff like, I made $1 million at the age of 18. I started a software company at 19. I bring in 8 figures a year. These are a little bit softer, but because he has 5 million subscribers, it's a little bit more believable. Whereas somebody who, only has 100 subscribers, they might have to actually show proof on the screen of them, having Stripe screenshots and stuff like that. But at this point, he shows that he's done it before, and that's exactly why people should listen to him. But how is he helping them and selling his service at the same time? Well, this is where he starts to uncover the raw truths. He goes into the reasons why people are not currently achieving success and uses each raw truth as a way to tell them what they need to be doing. This means he's not just saying what they're doing wrong, but he's actually telling them what they should be doing instead. And he gives them actionable steps to take so they can get out of hell and start achieving their goals, which is perceived as value, basically. He's giving them insights on how they could solve their problems during the video. And there still are some questions that need to be answered, though, because you can't just watch a 20-minute video and change the course of your life. So this is where he implements a call to action, because he's revealed a lot of problems, but it's not as simple as just saying hey, here's the link in the description to solve the problem. He actually goes into a full 5-minute pitch to get them to buy his product. So he starts off by telling them he has 2 options. You have option number 1, which is continue to learn from YouTube and prolong your success by not paying for speed of implementation. Then he goes into option number 2, which is having speed of implementation. Basically something if you want to have access to the best step-by-step training with the best creators who have done X, Y, and Z result, blah, blah, blah. And this is where he just goes on for a 5-minute pitch, basically, talking about all the intricate details of what's inside. And the way that he does this is he paints his product as a solution to achieve their goals at a faster rate, and then he also leverages it against the raw truths he talked about in the video. But then he also says stuff like, this is a special offer. It really is a course that's worth $1,500 for $100, but even then it's on sale for $37 a month, just to create more urgency in the purchase. And then from there, he uncovers the last raw truth, so they remember his remember him as somebody who's like giving before asking, essentially. And then his higher ticket VSLs are basically the same. The only difference is the target audience. So like what he's actually selling, the pains he's digging into differ a little bit, but they're essentially the same. He's just selling a higher ticket product, which is going to be like $1,500 per month. And then from there, like we have to really understand like how this is affecting the buying journey, because what is this like really doing to the rest of the funnel, and how is it affecting the rest of the funnel? So now that people watch this YouTube VSL, the buying intent has increased because they're not brainwashed, but pretty close to being brainwashed into like why his product is going to help them and how it's going to like benefit them as well as take them to where they want to go. And the reason why he pushes this low ticket VSL to a wider group of people is because he just wants like a low level of commitment, because these people are the least aware of what he's selling and they have the lowest chance of buying from him. So the odds that they purchase, his mid to high ticket offer are pretty slim, and this micro commitment just gets them in the ecosystem and funnels them to the higher ticket offers as well. So even if they don't buy from him now, he gets them into the next step of the funnel, which is going to be business and lifestyle advice, business and life advice content. So this is directly targeted at his ideal audience. So stuff like desexualizing your brain or 7 steps to unfuck your life, basically going through like what people need to do to get to like the next level. And a lot of people in his ideal audience are motivated and they want to be like entrepreneurs and they want to get to the next level as well. So stuff like this exactly attracts them. However, there's not much actionable value here. Nothing that's like, here, you have to do this to get this. It's more like, the 7 steps to unfuck your life, 5 simple habits that made me a millionaire, 7 life lessons I learned this year. And they all like have like value because you can learn from other people's mistakes. You can learn from their lessons. You can learn from stuff that they've learned, stuff like that. But they rarely consist of do this one thing to make more money, or like look up online this website and go do this, this, and this. It's more advice on what to do from his past experience. Now, from here, he doesn't use these videos to drive traffic to his website yet, but what he does do is he directs them to other VSL style YouTube videos like he did before. However, these are going to be his higher ticket VSLs like we just discussed, and the reason why he does this is because he gave them something of value and he maintains his goodwill. And also the buying intent is just a little bit higher because if they went through the low ticket VSL, imagine they already purchased that product. It was a good product. And now they're watching these like being retargeted almost by these middle of funnel approaches. And they're more likely to purchase a mid/higher ticket VSL. So he feels comfortable putting that in the description. Now, like I said, for this style of content, he really has 2 different funnels or 2 different VSLs. It's going to be his mid and high ticket VSL. They're basically the same thing. I just wanted to word them differently. So although these VSLs are a little bit different from the low ticket funnel, they still have the same goal of getting people to buy from them. Now, the only things to understand is that these videos have already seen like the lifestyle videos. Like this audience has seen the lifestyle videos. So they're just a warmer audience. And, they're convinced that he genuinely wants to help them out at this point because he hasn't really asked for much. He hasn't really pushed any products. So they think like, this guy really wants me to get to where I want to go, and now he's teaching me more about it. But the question actually becomes like within these more structured videos, when he's actually scripting stuff out, like how does he get them to his VSLs in a way that's not him like hard selling all of his products? And the answer is really just a great YouTube script. So his advice style scripts are pretty simple. And that's why his team like focuses most of his attention on script writing, because they know it's the most valuable part of a YouTube video. But the way that he does this is he gets traffic to his VSL by using call to actions, but he doesn't just like throw them throughout the whole video. He actually strategically places them so viewers, 1, they see it, and 2, there's not like a bunch of sales resistance where it's just like a cut in the middle of the screen and then it's like, hey, if you want to buy this, blah, blah, blah. Like he actually is putting them in a place that makes sense and creates more like buying intent around his service. So before we actually get into the call to actions, though, you have to know like how he's getting them there, and that's going to be a great intro. So his intro really does 3 things. It grabs attention, it sets expectations, and it directs the attention as well, because without a way to grab attention, no one's going to watch. Without expectations, no one's going to understand why they're watching, and they're just going to exit really fast. And if their attention isn't directed to the next step of the video, they're going to become bored and click off. So this all really starts with a great hook and grabbing attention. So here's a great example of one of Iman's hooks and why it's so powerful. So It's pretty simple. It's nothing too crazy, and it's pretty quick. But the things that you want to keep in mind, and that he's also keeping in mind, is the title of the video, which is 7 Steps to Unfuck Your Life, what viewers want to see when they're clicking on that title of video, and who his target audience is. And this is going to allow him to actually like grab more attention and create more intrigue within his intros. So the title, 7 Steps to Unfuck Your Life, so that means people want to see a video about these 7 steps. They wouldn't have clicked on it if they didn't want to see the video. So that means, their current situation is that their life is either fucked, or they're currently leveling up, or they want to level up as a person. And then this will allow him to actually engage his audience by saying stuff like, that's why in today's video I'm going to show you XYZ, XYZ, because he's actually setting these expectations of, hey, this is what you clicked for, and this is exactly what I'm going to give you. So now the viewers know why they should watch the video, and they know they're actually getting what they came for. But you have to notice he directed the attention directly after the hook, which is basically like a transition, but it doesn't sound like one. It doesn't do any like, all right, well, let's get right into it. It's more just like getting right into it, which leaves us right at the body of the video. As you can tell, Iman doesn't waste any time. He wants to start delivering value as soon as possible so he can deliver on the title of the video and keep his goodwill going. However, in this scenario, he doesn't really wait too long to throw in like a call to action. He talks about the first step, and then he throws in a call to action around like 2 minutes into the video, which is going to be like 2 big reasons why he actually does this. So he doesn't really throw call to actions around, or actually like strategically placed. It's not like he's just like, oh, I want to throw one here. There's 2 reasons why he does this. He wants to, one, give before he asks. So he wants to like portray some source of value so he maintains that goodwill. And he also wants to put it where the most people are going to see it. So he doesn't start the video with a call to action. He's not going to open up with like, hey, we're going to talk about the 7 steps, but before that, like people are just going to click off. So what he does is he actually starts talking about the 7 steps, waits about 2 minutes, and then drops in a call to action. Now he knows people aren't going to watch the whole video. Not every single person that clicks on a YouTube video is going to watch the whole thing. So he puts it 2 minutes in because he wants the most amount of people to see it, and he knows not everyone's going to watch. However, the way that he structures these call to actions are not, like I said, they're not just like plopped in the middle of a video where it's like a cutout of him talking about like, hey, you want to buy my digital launchpad? Like it's on sale, buy one today. It's more like actually creating a problem, and then he's pitching his service as a solution. So he doesn't just jump in and say like, hit the link in the description. He actually positions it in a way that's going to help them and relieve the pain they're dealing with, because it's like, before we get onto this, I know a lot of you are wondering XYZ, like what's the best way for me to do XYZ? And it's exactly like their goal. Like what's the best way for me to hit my goal, basically? And then he talks about like, hey, well, I'll leave one of my best YouTube videos. He's directing his YouTube VSL. Hey, I'm going to direct one of my best YouTube videos in the first link in the description. I locked myself in a room, blah, 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 analyzed the top 8 business models to come to a conclusion as to which one is the best. So you can just tell already that he's like, because we know on like what's on the other side, he's like pitching it as a solution to their problem and how it's going to help them, when in reality he's going to just deliver some value, some insights, but he's also just going to pitch his product as a solution. But from there, we basically just end up at the outro, which is fairly simple because he's already done all this hard work. He doesn't have any special like tricks or gimmicks. He basically just summarizes the video, tells the audience like, I'm rooting for you as always, goodbye, basically. So nothing too crazy, because he knows that asking once during the video is more than enough, especially in these advice style scripts where it's not too much like actionable value, because he wants to like maintain his goodwill. But even at this point, if they don't click the YouTube VSL, he keeps them in the ecosystem until they get to his informational content. Now, his informational content is the 3rd step of his funnel, and it's a little bit different because he's actually providing useful information for his audience. It's the first time that he's actually telling them like, hey, this is what you need to do to get from point A to point B. And that's exactly why he starts to use direct call to actions in these videos. He links his website and landing page in the description and then uses call to actions to get them there. But these links actually go directly to his high-ticket landing page, not another YouTube VSL, which is different than what we've seen so far. So he's not driving any more traffic to videos that are disguised as informational content. He finally asked for something in return after giving away enough value. But the question still becomes like, how does he set up his script in a way that gets these people to buy from him without like getting them to the VSL? Now, these informational scripts are still like pretty similar to the advice style scripts. However, the difference is just the value that he's actually providing. Like these are guides, these are how-tos, and he's actually creating that level of trust because people are seeing that he actually has the knowledge to get to like point A to point B, and he's like teaching them. So he's building more trust, building more credibility around himself, and then he starts to actually place in call to actions. Now, if you haven't noticed yet, the amount of value that he gives is directly proportional to the amount that he asks. Now, his intros, they're basically the same. Sometimes he puts a call to action in there, but he also just sprinkles them throughout the video, basically. And although the intros and value are pretty self-explanatory, his new call to action structure is a little bit different. These are structured the same, but where he directs the traffic is completely different. So he doesn't push to another YouTube VSL. He actually gets them to his website where people can buy from him. And these are about halfway through the video because he wants to build up more rapport, more credibility, and deliver more value before he says like, hey, head to my website. So this one is 5 minutes and 30 seconds into the video. It's a little bit longer, and it's a little bit more of a harder ask. Like before it was like, yo, just go watch like one of my best videos, like that'll teach you how to get the best business models, yada yada yada. Whereas this, he's saying like, look, I created the digital launchpad because you guys want to get to the XYZ step, and I want to be the one to help you out. So at $37 per month, blah blah blah. If you don't join digital launchpad, it's the same price you spend to go to the cinema, order your popcorn, sweet stacks, stuff like that. Like it's a little bit of a harder sell. He plays a little humor into there, but it's nothing like too crazy to the point where it's just like a cutout, but it definitely is a little bit more of a call to action style. Now, at first glance, you think that he's trying like really hard to sell you, but it's really he's just trying to make them see like how it can help them get to where they want to go, because the way he positions it is like, you need to invest in yourself, you need to invest in things you can control, and it's not always best to like invest in stocks and stuff like that. Now, this is the last part of his funnel before heading to his landing page and his website. So let's take a quick rundown before we get into actually how to replicate it for yourself. So he uses his lifestyle content as his top of funnel to drive traffic to his low ticket YouTube VSLs. He uses advice style content as his middle funnel to drive traffic to his mid and high ticket VSLs. And then he uses informational content as bottom of funnel to drive traffic directly to his website. And the trend here is that he's creating goodwill, and he creates it by providing value first and then asking for the sale. But now we're going to go over how you can replicate it for yourself, how you can take everything that Iman's done and then put it into your own YouTube sales funnel. Now you're going to need 3 things if you want to replicate a sales funnel. You need a traffic source, you need 3 tiers of content, and you need at least 1 YouTube style VSL. Now the first thing we're going to start off with is establishing a traffic source. This can be anything from Instagram, Twitter, newsletter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And it's just pretty simple. It's like if you have an external source of traffic, you're going to be able to grow your YouTube at a faster rate. You're going to be able to get more people into your funnel. You also can use it as a bottom of funnel mechanism for your already existing traffic sources. Then from there, you need to actually create your 3 tiers of content, which is going to be your top of funnel, middle funnel, and bottom of funnel. For him, it was like the lifestyle, it was his advice style content, and then his informational content. And you could do something similar. I mean, top of funnel could be stuff like, AI and stuff like that, where middle funnel doesn't have to be advice, but we're going to get into some examples as well. So this is basically your part to reach new audiences and actually build momentum and grab attention, rank you higher on the algorithm, all those fancy words that you've heard about, boosting yourself on the algorithm. That's what these videos are for. So it's going to be stuff like the reality of being an agency owner, how I quit my 9 to 5 at the age of 23, something I wish I knew 5 years ago. And no one's going to really watch these videos and just buy from you, but it's going to get them into your funnel, and it's going to give you some leverage to like start growing on the platform and get people into your other like videos as well. Now, similar to Iman, you don't want any hard sells in these videos. You can tell them to subscribe for more. You could leave your website in the description, but you don't really want to ask for people to subscribe or like buy from you after talking about like, oh, I did this at like the age of 23. I quit my 9 to 5, and if you want to buy from me, blah, 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 blah. It's just not going to make sense. It's going to create a bad taste in these viewers' mouth, especially if they're, not getting any value from it. So from there, your next goal is to get them into these middle funnel content where you're actually going to be nurturing your audience, displaying expertise, and you could actually start to direct some traffic. So it's stuff like watch me design a landing page live, or I wrote 1,000 hours worth of YouTube scripts, here's what I learned, or stop hiring US employees, do this instead. So it's like value videos, breakdowns, lessons, and mistakes just to display your competence and make your audience like more problem and solution aware. So the more they see these videos, they're going to be like, 1, they're going to be like, oh, I didn't know I had that problem. And 2, they're going to be like, oh, I didn't know that like people like knew this or like could do this. So it's going to paint you as the expert in this industry. and they have a little bit more value in them, so you can go a bit harder on the call to action and start to drive traffic to a YouTube VSL. But they are more strategic and they should follow somewhat of a scripting structure, whereas the ones before, you can just keep them like more raw and you don't have to go anything too crazy on them. So let's build out an example structure following Iman's like value. Now, the middle of funnel structure is going to be something like grabbing attention, setting expectations, directing attention, and having your body, which is like a value. You could throw the call to action here. You could throw it at the end of the video, go into more value, then you're going to direct more attention, and then summarize everything. So let's lay it out actually step by step. So the intro of your script is going to be the most important part. If you don't have a great intro, no one's going to even watch the body. No one's going to make it to the conclusion. So you need to grab attention to the solid hook. Set expectations with the in today's video phrase. You're going to tell them exactly what the video is about, what they're going to get after watching the video, and then you're going to direct attention to the value with a smooth transition. So once these are laid out, I'm going to give you some examples here. We can go through each of these step by step. So there's going to be 4 types of hook. Now, question hooks are going to be starting off the video with a question, pretty self-explanatory. Strong statements are going to be stuff like, if you're doing this, it's going to kill your business or it's going to kill your sales, stuff like that. Hiring the right editor can make or break your content, stuff like that. Story hooks, pretty simple, like when I hired my first editor, I got completely scammed, downright bamboozled, I would say. And then the interesting statistics is going to be pretty simple. It's going to be like, did you know that XYZ percentage of creators hire professional editors, stuff like that. Now, setting expectations, pretty simple. It's going to be like, in today's video, I'm going to do XYZ, then I'm going to do XYZ, this way you have this, or, and today I'm going to show you why your emails are landing in spam, what steps you need to take, and the best deliverability practices to keep them healthy going forward. So that's pretty simple. Directing attention, once again. The video title, you'll just have like watch me build a high converting landing page, and then something would look like, this way you know what mistakes to avoid when building your landing page and how to have visually appealing designs. But first, what are the best platforms to build in? And then you could go into the body, talking about the best platforms to build in, go into the rest of the body as well. Now, all the other ones are basically the same. And then that leaves us to the actual body. So once you get the audience into the body of your video, it's time to over deliver on value. If this is like a screen share, if it's a walkthrough, there's no really scripting hack that can save you besides just being good at the thing you do. However, if you're talking directly to the camera, you can lay out your script with bullet points just to, keep it a little bit more structured. So if it's like hiring video editors, you'd want to have where to find editors, how to get them to apply to your form, how much you should pay them. If you're doing stuff on UGC ads, it can be like what most people do wrong, the ad structure I use, reviewing client videos with our ad structure, stuff like that. And that's pretty basic. You don't want to do anything too crazy. If you need to be the type of person who scripts everything out, you can go for that as well. But now you have attention and you've given them valuable insights, so all you need is a solid outro. Now your outro can be pretty brief, like you've already put in the hard work. All you really need is a summary line, an open loop, and a call to action. Now, here's going to be a quick example. So something like, now, if you followed exactly what I showed you, you should be able to find an editor who will help you produce content consistently. However, what I didn't tell you is that you still have to train them on your editing style and implement a system to ensure they're producing quality videos every day. So you go watch this video right here where I go over exactly how to do that. Super simple. What I'm doing is you're actually telling them like, look, if you follow what I did, you'll be able to do XYZ result. However, what I didn't mention is that even if you have XYZ result, you might still get bottlenecked because like you don't have a high quality editor to produce content every day. So watch this video where I'm solving that problem basically. So you're opening up like a problem, plugging your next video as a solution. It's a little bit of a softer sell because you're just keeping them in the funnel because it's a middle of funnel structure. So you don't really want to like do anything too crazy. You can just get them right to your next YouTube VSL. And that's going to be actually structuring like another video that's disguised as another piece of content, but you're actually doing kind of what Iman did, and it's just connecting with the audience, asserting your authority, digging into problems holding them back, then actually like painting your product as they're deeper into your funnel. And now it's pretty simple. It's going to be like connecting stuff like, you're struggling to get consistent calls for your business. You continue to run unprofitable ads, and you're just like calling out your ideal audience and bringing out the pain, which is exactly what Iman Gadzhi was doing as well. From there, you can assert authority, stuff like, over the past years, I've helped XYZ. Now I've generated over XYZ, stuff like that. And they're going to see you as the person who could take them to where they want to go. And from here, you could actually start digging into the problems they're experiencing. Now you'll have your in-depth discovery where you're actually digging into the problems. And that's exactly what Iman does. He digs into his audience by displaying value and going over his harsh truths. Because what he does is he sets a negative frame on the video so people see what they're doing wrong and why they aren't achieving what they want to achieve. And you could do something really similar by just setting a negative frame as the goal of your video. So something like the reality of running Facebook ads or why you aren't booking calls for your business, and you're going to tell them exactly what they're doing wrong, and like they're the ones who clicked on the video, so they're not going to be like, oh, this guy's like telling me what I'm doing wrong, yada yada. So what you're going to be able to do is tell them, hey, here's what you're doing wrong, and then you can paint yourself or your product, your solution, or your service as the solution. And then from there, that's going to be the actual pitch. So you can give them like two options, just like Iman does. Like now you can keep doing what you're doing, stay where you are, or you can, do this because you want to X, Y, Z. So it shows that they have an option to relieve their pain, and you're the one to help them do that. And it shows that you want to help them get to where they want to go, and you were just the one, talking on camera, and they just happen to have all of those problems as well. So you can just tell them to book a call directly in the description or head directly to your website or landing page. But even if these people don't book it now, like you might have to wait for them to get to your bottom of funnel content, which is why it's so important to have a bottom of funnel to kind of get them over the line, because this is really where the money is going to be made. Because you can ask for more, you're delivering more value, you're actually, delivering on the promise of like your goodwill. And this is where you're going to be going full deep in depth, like with 30-minute guides, full case study reviews, in-depth how-to videos. And when I say case study reviews, I don't mean like interviews. I mean like, here's exactly how we took this brand from 0 to 100K in email marketing revenue in the past 30 days. And you'll go like step by step by step to actually how you did it. And then this is your chance to position yourself as the expert, show what you do isn't easy, and show that you've done what they want to do before. Like you're going to want to lay out every intricate detail and make them realize that you are the person to help them out, and there's nobody else better in the world except for you. Because now you can deliver on a lot of value, and you can actually, be comfortable driving traffic to your website or VSL without raising resistance from your audience, because a part of them feels like they owe you something and they want to be the one to like help you out. Like they're not dumb. They know that like choosing you as the service provider or the coach or consultant is going to be helping you out as well, and you're giving away so much value for free. So that's really the goal there. Now, when you're in the bottom of funnel content, you can ask for this commitment, but you have to like lay it out in a way to make the call to action like strong and engaging. And you can add stuff like social proof and guarantees to make it a little bit stronger. And remember, like Iman pitched his 5-minute service in his one VSL. He went pretty in depth in his call to action as well, although he had his in the middle of the video. If you want to like do that in the middle of the video as well, you can, but it's going to look something like this. Pretty simple. You can lay out like the pillars of your service, a quick guarantee, a little bit of like social proof as well. And then that's really it when it comes to your YouTube sales funnel. Like that's exactly how you're going to replicate it as well. Now, as you can see, Iman does the following to turn YouTube into a $10 million per year asset. He gets attention from shorter form socials. He directs attention to YouTube. He funnels them into informational based content, and then he pitches his products and services with YouTube VSLs. Now, you should be able to replicate most of this, but there might be some things you're unsure of, like how do you find editors? How do you optimize your videos to reach the right people? How do you find thumbnail designers? How do you analyze your results and know what's working? How do you actually build out the full VSL funnel? And they're all valid questions, but there are other options out there. Like, because at this point, you have to develop a whole skill just to start posting on YouTube. Like, you aren't just spending time coming up with content, but you're also spending time hiring in-house team and gaining the skills and training them on the skills needed to create good content. So this means you have to manage a team of editors and designers on top of scripting, ideating, optimizing your videos. But I can give you another option that consists of less time and energy on your end, which is going to be a vetted team of editors, a proven creation system, and a creative team to implement it all. Now we'll build out your creative vision, and we'll actually develop your own editing style and understand what you like and dislike when it comes to creative design. And we do this because we want to stand out with high quality videos and produce content that motivates you to record. And then from there, we turn your validated content ideas into full YouTube scripts and angle them in a way that solves problems within your ICP, so we can make everything actually useful for your content or for your audience. And then from there, we optimize your thumbnails and content ideas for the YouTube search engine so you're reaching the right people. Then from there, you'll just have like your dedicated Slack channel, and you always have videos in the pipeline. This way you don't ever have to wait for like what you want to post next. So that's what I got for you, and from there we'll even guarantee you 10 to 20 sales calls per month for your YouTube, or you don't have to pay us a dime. So there's really no risk involved for you. You pay for results and we deliver them. So if that's something you're up for, you can book a call using the first thing in the description, and I'll see if I can help you out. And then, yeah, I'll talk to you soon.